Off. All right. We had a week off last week, and obviously I took advantage of that and did a little trip down the Caribbean. Enjoyed it with Nirvana in the Caribbean on a cruise. So we had a good time last week, a little away from football,
Okay.
and now we are back for part one of the bowl series pick'ems. So we'll be doing we're going to do 12 games today and 12 games next Thursday. Obviously, this week we'll be focusing on those early games, and next week we'll hit the big ones, the important ones. So, but right now we're going to focus on these right now. You know, I didn't get a notification yet, Mike. We're up and running.
Yeah, it's up there.
It is. All right. All right.
All right, all right.
I believe you. I believe you.
I appreciate that.
Ah, we are. We are. Okay.
Up and running,
Yeah,
Dave.
you get the revert there. So, okay. So obviously in the first week we got the lower tier bowls, the ones that just snuck in, with their 6-6 or their 7-5, whatever. Then of course you got the game that we'll finish up with, where one team is 6-6 and the other team only lost like 3 games, like I don't know, 9-3 or 10-2 or something like that, which was kind of an odd pairing, but you know, no one likes our Gators. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, Mike, are you about ready to get started here and reveal, most importantly, how well we did week after last in the championship games?
Yeah, we'll get to that, Dave. Don't you worry.
All
Actually,
right,
I can.
just
I'll throw up the. I'll do the recap right now. We'll do the
all
recap
right,
while I'm
just to
doing
make
this bio real quick for the
just
show.
just to make sure everybody's aware of how things went. Let's see. Um, Miami Mike had one, two, three, four, 5 wins, and one, two, three, four, five, 6 losses. So 5-6 for our buddy
Mm.
Miami Mike.
Thanks, Dave.
Gator Dave, however, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8-3. So a good week if you've been listening to Gator Dave and gone with some of the numbers that I put up there. Let's see, we are year to date, as you can see, 88, 77, and 3 for Gator Dave, and 81, 81, and 5 for Miami Mike. But we got 2 weeks left, and I'm sure Mike will make up some ground over these next 2 weeks because these games are so easy to pick. We're getting our coin. We're getting our coin out for these 2 weeks and doing some flipping, especially next week. Mike and I already talked about that, how hard that's going to be with all the folks that are in the transfer portal. What else do we have? We got guys that are sitting out because they're going to the NFL.
Yep.
And then we have the coaching issue where coaches have said bye-bye or gotten the boot, and there's no coach. We've got interim coaches and this, that, and the other. We'll talk about one when we get to Louisville. Oh, my God, what a train wreck that one is right now from a coaching standpoint. I don't know if you knew about that one, Mike, but that one is interesting to say the least in terms of how their coaching staff is panned out for this week in the bowl game. So a lot going on, obviously, with all that, and it's definitely going to be a challenge to make these picks, but we'll do the best we can and try to give you as much good information as we can as we have it at this point. There you go, Mike. Because things will change on the dime. If you go to the window on anything, make sure you've checked the latest and greatest on who the hell is playing and who's not. So it can make a difference, especially from the quarterback position and coaching.
Valid advice, Dave. Very valid advice.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, let's get it started. So we don't really have a method to the madness here because it's bowl games. So they're kind of all over the place.
It is.
But we will say that these first 12 games in this part one of two That's coming next week, like Dave mentioned. All of these games are before New Year's Eve. So you got time to, don't worry, you don't have to necessarily rush or worry about getting in the next ones also. All of those are after New Year's Eve. We tried to space it out that way, so it would be easier for us as well. All right, first game, Dave.
First game, UTSA versus Troy. Two teams coming in with a marvelous record. Both teams coming in at 11-2, winning their conferences. UTSA is 7-6 against the spread, and Troy is 10-3 against the spread. Now you'll notice, Mike, that I'm not giving stats on quarterbacks because it's a moving target in a lot of situations. It would have been too much trouble. So I'm not going to get any quarterback stats this week like I usually do, just to let everybody know. But we do have their records and how they fared against the spread. So this was probably going to be a nice competitive game. To me, a couple of relatively evenly matched teams and kind of exciting teams to be in those lower divisions, group of five. They're playing in the soccer stadium down in Orlando. Do you know that, Mike?
I did not know.
Yes, so it's not a big bowl, but they're playing a soccer stadium, so it should be cozy. Maybe they can get close to filling up a soccer stadium. And it's actually nicer than the Citrus Bowl in down there in Orlando.
That I believe. Sure. That I believe.
You know that for a fact.
That I believe. Yep. Been there a couple times.
Now, a couple of interesting tidbits. Two top receivers for Troy are out for the game. Troy did get hammered in their playoff game by Coastal. The other info that I've gotten is they haven't done really good in terms of explosive plays on the offense. So they're kind of a get-her-done type team. And they do have a really good defense. That's kind of where they hang their hat in terms of Troy goes. Yep. UTSA, good offensive team. These teams are very similar in a lot of ways. Zachary Franklin, is a stud receiver for UTSA. Averaging 12 yards a catch. He will be playing. Frank Harris, the coach for UTSA, was rumored to be going to some other places. He's hanging around, so I'm thinking the team's pretty fired up about getting their coach back. You know how they worry at the end of the year. Right. Where's my guy going? So I think they kind of rally around their coach there. Both teams do come in with 10-game winning streaks, so that's obviously going to be broken this week. The lines moved a little bit on this one. We are minus one to UTSA, so I'm going to play the money line and UTSA here, Mike.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I'm with you. I'm all road runners in this one. Both, like you mentioned, both these teams are coming in hot, both on 10-game win streaks. So something's got to give. Both won their conference championship. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Troy's defense, like you mentioned, they are why they've gotten to this point. They're going to come to play. I just think UTSA is on a different mission right now. And I like them to get it done. It's going to be a great game. It's an afternoon game tomorrow, too. So little daytime action. It's going to be nice.
Yeah. It is tomorrow. Let's see what time.
It's at 3 o'clock.
This one's, 3 o'clock on Friday, Mike. Oh, tomorrow is Friday. Duh. Okay. 3 o'clock.
There you go.
Friday,
you're still on island time. It's all right.
I am, dude. It just got me all thrown off. So
it's fair.
Absolutely.
All right, sir. Let's move on. We got Louisville, Cincinnati next. This is like you mentioned. This one's got a little backstory to it.
A lot of backstory.
It's kind of spicy with this. So, Louisville's head coach, as you can see, Louisville is playing Cincinnati in this bowl game. Louisville's head coach left Louisville for Cincinnati after Fickle took the Wisconsin job.
Yep.
So he's not going to be coaching in this bowl game.
Right.
to make matters even more interesting, the game is being played at Fenway, and the sidelines for the teams are on the same side. So they will be next to each other for the duration of this game. Um, I think it's going to be pretty chippy. I
You
uh,
think?
I think, and for that reason, I'm on Louisville money line. I think that they're going to come out and they're going to want to stick it to Cincinnati for that reason. Um, Cincinnati's without Fickle. As I said, he took that job at Wisconsin, so they're without their head coach for this game. It's something they're not used to over these last 4 years or so. Um, Give me Louisville money line. What do you like here, Dave?
So, um, here's my thought here. There's even more story to this one. So the other thing is,
He took a bunch of coaches, didn't he?
Yeah, they did. So Louisville 7-5, Cincinnati 9-3. Obviously, Louisville's playing in the real league and Cincinnati's group of 5 team. Louisville 7-5 against the spread. The Bearcats are 3-9 against the spread. We got Satterfield, who was a coach at Louisville, is now going to Cincinnati. All kind of weird. The 2 coordinators for Louisville are gone. So I'm trying to figure out. You should look up who's coaching the Louisville team.
It doesn't matter. It's player coached. It's
Okay.
they're coming out with fire for this one, Dave.
I'm quite worried. Seriously, I'm quite worried about how this team's really going to function with the head coach, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
That's valid.
Not playing. The person that's coaching the team, he's an NFL player. He's their head of player personnel. He's a big-time player. I should have plugged it in what the guy's name is, but I'll grab it in a minute. But he's never coached before. That's who's coaching.
Hey, Jeff Saturday. You never know. Could it translate to college ranks?
Yeah, this guy's was a receiver for Seattle. You'll see in a minute. Let's see. Brian for Cincy and Cunningham for the Cardinals aren't playing. So we're playing without our starting quarterbacks.
Yep.
Okay? We're playing without coaches for Louisville and for Cincinnati. Worse for Louisville. Evans and Clark, both the wideouts for the Cardinals, are not playing. But Louisville's got a talent advantage over Cincinnati. The weather's going to be cold. The weather's going to be windy. So, Mike, I am going to go the under in this game and think it might be a chippy debacle, but they're not going to score a lot of points. So, I'm going to take the under, Mike.
I think that's a good pick, and it's making me rethink mine, to be honest. But here we are. That's pretty much the story of my season, so we're going to stick to it. All right, next game we're going to talk here. I'm going to let you take this one, Dave.
All right, so we got Wazoo, Washington State versus Fresno State. Fresno State favored here by 3.5, over under 54. Wazoo comes in at 7-5. They were tearing up middle of the year, started tapering off at the end. Fresno comes in at 9-4. Washington State is, however, 8-4 against the spread, which is very respectable. Fresno State is 6-7 against the spread. Eric Moore, the OC for Washington State, is taking a coaching job in North Texas. And they lost their DC as well. So they're kind of in Louisville both for this game. However, they do have a coach, a head coach, so it's not quite as bad.
Right.
But both DCs, because of how well Washington State's done this year, won't be there for the game. Fresno 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 games against Pac-12 teams. So they're one of those Pac-12 thorn in the side type teams, coming over from what? Is that Mountain West or WAC?
I think it's Mountain West.
Mountain West, because we don't have WAC anymore, do we?
It's for basketball.
Do we? Okay.
Yeah, that's Gonzaga.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. The other little tidbit, Fresno won the Mountain West and their last 8 games. And Washington State is missing a lot more players than Fresno here, so thus I'm going to take Fresno at -3 in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Should I go money line on that, Mike?
I gave you money line, and
Thank you, Mike.
I'm gonna take a money line as well. I'm gonna take money line as well. Fresno State is just a different team with Jake Haener. They have him back. He's fully healthy. He's slinging that thing. Defense is playing good. They're playing confident. Their coaching staff is much more intact. So yeah, I'm on Fresno State money line here. I think this one's one of the easier plays of these first 12 selections that we're going through. What's up, Scott? No, it doesn't look like it, man. It doesn't look like I'm getting that number one. However, I will say Gator Dave, he got the regular season title. It's done. He got it. Congratulations to him. But there's opportunity. There's opportunity in this bowl, in this bowl phenomenon. All right. Part 1 this week. We got 12 games. Plenty of chance for movement. I'm about six, maybe 7 games, 6.5 games back, I think, right now, Dave. So we got a chance for movement here, and then we got next week, which is another 12. You know, and there's potential here. There's potential movement for a postseason, regular season champion. He could have the regular season. He can be Peyton Manning. You know what I mean? Yeah. Give me the rings. Yeah. Give me the rings. Put me up there with Tom. All right? That's what we're going for. So we'll see.
We'll see how it works.
I love the hate, though. Keep it going. It keeps us motivated. All right?
That's right.
All right, next game we're talking BYU, SMU. SMU is I don't know if you've seen what they've done in the transfer portal in the last week or so, Dave, but it's quite something. Rhett Lashley, Miami's former OC, is snatching these boys up from the transfer portal. He's taken 4 guys already from Miami's 16 that have left the program. He's gotten 4. He's gotten 4 of them. So
relationship there.
That's right. It's becoming SMU, if you will. You know what I'm saying, Dave? I think that sort of has something to do. The reason I mention it sort of has something to do with where I'm going with my pick here. It's not SMU. I'm going BYU +4. I think SMU is a little too focused on the future right now. And I think for that reason, my dog is something. For that reason, I'm going with BYU. I think they rally together. Jaron Hall is going to go. This may be his last game as a Cougar. So I think he's going to step up. I think that defense is going to step up. I think BYU is a much better team than how they played this year. And this is an opportunity for them to show it. So give me BYU +4 in an upset against SMU. Dave, who do you like?
So, here's what we got. Both teams coming in matched up pretty well at 7-5. BYU 4-8 against the spread. We haven't done well against the spread. Hasn't played well here. So BYU 4-8, SMU 5-7, not much better. So this game opened up with BYU as the favorite at -1.5. And now it's gone to SMU at what, like 5.5, right?
No, it's up to 4.
Is 4? All right. So lots of transfers and opt-outs for the team. SMU has lost 54% of its receiving yards in terms of receivers. Now, the information on Jaron Hall that I have at this moment, Mike, is that I see Jaron Hall not close to playing. Jaron Hall, evidence mounts that he will miss the bowl. So be careful with your money here, Miguel. All right? Which means
I've been lied to.
Backup is transferred, which means they would be playing a third string quarterback, and SMU plays fast, but the defense does give up a lot of points. I'm going to take the over in this game, Mike. I had SMU, as you saw earlier, but I think that, I don't know. I'll go ahead and go with my pick and say I'm going to take the over in this game, but I'm feeling more with Hall out that SMU's going to cover the 4 points. So.
All right. Again, I'm sticking with what I got.
But I'll stick with my over.
Let's do it.
We'll keep her there.
All right.
But for all the folks out there, Jared Hall probably not playing. Keep that in mind.
That is definitely 100% something to note for sure. Next game we're talking, it's the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Dave. It is in Boise on the blue turf. On the blue turf. It's Eastern Michigan versus San Jose State. San Jose State is the favorite. It's -3.5 now, I believe.
Yep.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet with this one. San Jose State, I think, is not prepared for what Boise is about to have in store for them. Eastern Michigan, I think, is a little more acclimated to that kind of weather and environment, and I think Eastern Michigan is on a mission. I'm not really impressed with San Jose State as of late, so give me Eastern Michigan +3. Let's ride. What do you got?
So, I'm kind of there with you, Mike. So Eastern Michigan 8-4, San Jose 7-4. San Jose State did well at the beginning of the year, but the latter part of the year didn't fare well. Eastern comes in 6-6 against the spread. San Jose State a disappointing 4-7 against the spread. San Jose State is 0-7 in their last 7 games against the spread. Quarterback play has been stepping up at the end of the year for Eastern Michigan. So that's a good thing. They're 4-1. They played in the MAC. They're 4-1 in the MAC, which is pretty impressive. Eastern has a better offense than San Jose State does, but San Jose State's got a better defense. But all in all, I'm going with you here, Mike. I'm going Eastern Michigan. Give me that +3.
Right on. All right. I like it. Moving on. That same day, December 20th, it is Liberty Toledo in the Boca Raton Bowl down there in Florida Atlantic's home stadium. It's going to be probably nice weather. I have no idea about the weather report, but it's Boca Raton in December. How bad can it be? I am going to be on Toledo here. I'm on Toledo -4.5. No Hugh Freeze for Liberty. A lot of guys transferred out of there already. I think it's going to be rough. Toledo's had some transfers too, but I think they're coming in with the idea to finish this season with a win, much more so than Liberty. So give me Toledo -4.5. Get it done. Dave, what do you got?
All right, so Liberty comes in at 8-4, Toledo 8-5. Liberty's 5-7 against the spread. Toledo 5-8. Both teams have really struggled against the spread the last few games. Liberty, like Mike says, lost Hugh Freeze to Auburn, and they've got their stars going to the portal in a rat race. The MAC's been kind of ugly this year. Just not, usually it's a little bit more exciting, a little bit more action, some big wins, but they haven't had it up there this year. Toledo's laid some pretty big eggs in some big games. They barely beat Ohio last week. But is Liberty really focused? They've lost their last 3 games. Once they started talking Hugh Freeze is leaving, and all the rumors started about Auburn, the house of cards started falling, and now it kind of reminds me of where the Gators were last year when just everything started falling apart. And the Gators bowl game sucked, and they lost. So I'm I'm with you, Mike. I'm going to take Toledo here as well.
All right. Right on. You take this next one.
All right, so we got Wake and Missouri, and right now it is -1 to Wake is what we're looking at here.
Okay.
Wake comes in at 7-5 in the ACC, and Mizzou is 6-6 in the SEC. Both teams are 7-5 against the spread, which is not too shabby. Missouri did beat Arkansas. That was kind of their signature win at the end of the year, and they kind of held Georgia to some low points, right? However, Missouri's had some opt-outs. Okay, their number one receiver, he ain't playing. And lost a couple guys on defense. Wake did lose to Duke in the last game. Sam Hartman's probably headed to the portal. Could be wearing the beautiful orange and blue someday, maybe. But he is playing the game. Wake has lost 4 of its last 5 games. Wake's given up 29 points per game on defense. Missouri's going to have a tough time without Love at that receiver. I can tell you that. They don't have a lot behind it. But I'm going to have to go with talent here. And if you look at the numbers, Missouri's got a little bit more talent. I like our linebacker that they got from Florida that's doing a great job up there for Missouri. So I'm going to take Missouri at +1.
Yep, I'm with you, Dave. I got Missouri +1 too. I'm on Eli Drinkwitz. I'm on the bandwagon of that head coach. I like his energy. I like what his confidence. Very Lane Kiffin, Kirby Smart esque, and I like it. I like it. That's how it should be. That's what you need to be in SEC football. So I'm going with Missouri. I think they're riding a little bit of momentum right now, and they're looking to carry that into the offseason. So yeah, give me Missouri +1. All right. Memphis, Utah State is the next one, Dave. Your alma mater. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going with your alma mater. Memphis -7. I think this one is one of my more one of the games I like most this week. Utah State's defense has been super shaky this year. Last year, it was a vast strength for them. It was basically the reason that they finished where they did last year. It was expected to continue this year, and it's sort of fallen off. So they've had an up and down season. I think that Memphis offense is going to be ready. I think they're going to put up numbers against this team in the secondary. So give me Memphis -7 here.
I like that put up numbers there, Mike. Yeah, so both teams come in at 6-6. Memphis is 6-6 against the spread. However, Utah is 4-8 against the spread. I think there are going to be a lot of points scored in this game. Neither team's really got much of a defense. The Tigers' defense hasn't been what they're used to having. Both quarterbacks have played most of the year, so that kind of tells me we should have some rhythm there, which a lot of the games aren't because you're playing backups. I think the game's could be close. That's why I was a little leery about picking my Tigers to cover. What are we at? 7 or 7.5?
Yeah, 7.
7. Yeah. So you could end up with a push there, but we'll see. So Utah State was 11-3 last year. Memphis was 6-6. So Utah State's really had a down year. Much worse. They lost that quarterback, Bonner, who was pretty respectable at the beginning of the year. The other quarterback, Leggett's come in and done okay. He's had 300-yard-plus games as of late. But I am thinking no defense, and I'm thinking both these teams put it up a lot. So I'm going to go with the over in this game, Mike.
All right, right on. Hey, that works for me as long as Memphis wins by more than 7.
There you go.
All right, we got 4 games left here for part one of the bowl series. We got Pittsburgh, UCLA in this next one. I'm gonna take. Ooh, I think I got the wrong. Yeah, I put the wrong thing in. So I'm gonna let you lead because I got the wrong pick
All
in
right,
there.
that's fine. That's fine. So Pittsburgh, UCLA. So right now, UCLA. Just double check an update on where it is. I had minus. My goodness, where's this? Oh, there it is.
They said 6.5.
Yep, still 6.5. 6.5. UCLA 6.5. So Pitt comes into the game at 8-4. UCLA 9-3. Pitt is 5-7 against the spread. UCLA 6-6. So pretty close. The good news for UCLA is DTR is playing for UCLA. So that's good news for the Bruins. Pitt did won their last 4 games in a row, but they did play a few of the easier teams. We'll leave it at that. I mean, well, we're talking about 4 games, Mike, not one. We're talking about 4.
Hey, that's it. The season's behind us. We're in the recruiting season right now, Dave. And we'll get to that in a second, Dave.
Some of us have to play in bowl
We'll get
games
to we'll get to what's going on in the recruiting season here shortly.
We'll go with bowls. All right, that's what we're talking, buddy. All right, so
we'll see if you win that bowl because you're not winning the recruiting battles currently.
Neither one of these defenses have been worth a damn. I watched UCLA. I watched the UCLA USC game, and I'm going, "Oh my God!" I mean, it was unbelievable how poor that defense was. So, and I'm thinking Pittsburgh's had some good games. So, my thinking is that I'm taking over 57.5 in this one, Mike. I think it's a good play.
Okay, right on.
I'll give that a Gator Day block.
Ooh, okay. I'm on UCLA minus 6.5. I think what you said is key. DTR is playing. I will say for the other side, though, on Pittsburgh, they have a key as well, and it's a benefit for them. Keaton Slovis is not playing in that game for them as quarterback. That's a big boost. Good. That's a big boost for Pittsburgh. So exactly. They're gonna have a chance in this game, but ultimately, I think UCLA's defense is gonna be able to get it done. I do think it's high scoring, though. I could definitely see it being like 38-34, something like that. And in that case, we don't want it, but I could see it. So, give me UCLA minus 6.5. All right, sir. Next game is Wisconsin and who do they play?
Okie State.
Oh, Oklahoma State. Yeah, Oklahoma State has Spencer Sanders. He transferred. Wisconsin's new coach has been found. Like we mentioned earlier, they got Luke Fickell. I'm in Wisconsin here. I have witnessed Wisconsin in bowl games that they're not supposed to win, and they win them. Their fans travel. They've traveled deep. Wisconsin will be ready for this game. Doesn't matter who their coach is. I'm telling you, they will be ready to go. Give me Wisconsin money line in this game. This is my lock of the week. Dave, who do you have?
All right. I'm with you. So, and I am with you because Wisconsin comes in at 6-6, Oklahoma State 7-5. Badgers are 5-7 against the spread. Oklahoma State 6-6. We know Fickell's been hired at Wisconsin, but they've had an interim coach for a while, so I don't see that being a problem at all for them. The good news for Wisconsin is no Graham Mertz. It's kind of like what we just talked about with the last game. Wake Forest, right? So Graham Mertz has been garbage, so probably best he's not in the game. OSU has lost 4 of their last 5 games, and the Big 12 was okay this year, but they lost some teams they shouldn't have. So they just kind of turned into garbage. And I went to the Oklahoma State 24/7 website, looked around. They're not happy with Mullet Man at all. They are not happy with how the season turned out.
They signed him to an extension.
But that was probably last year, right?
I
So
mean,
when he
but
did
they
well,
liked what they saw, you
and
know.
he had a
It
great
sounds
defense
real
last year.
similar to the next game that we're going to be discussing. You know, they signed that head coach to a nice extension, and
Yeah,
we'll see if it pays off.
we'll see what happens. So I am with you here, Mike, and I'm taking Wisconsin and the money line.
Badgers. They're going to be jumping around in that stadium. Next game we were talking, sir.
Yeah, this is Ian's team here, right?
Yep,
We got Florida State.
in the
We got
Citrus
no
Bowl.
Ian on the line. I'm bummed.
Wait, did you say they're
No Ian
playing?
Gleason to puff his chest out about his team and how they're playing the big Oklahoma team that usually gets into the playoff, but is not this year. So Oklahoma comes in at 6-6. Florida State 9-3 in the ACC. Oklahoma is 4-7-1 against the spread, while Florida State is 7-4. Florida State won their last 5 games of the year. Oklahoma State lost 3 of their last 5. But I said Oklahoma State, I meant Oklahoma. When I looked at the numbers, all those losses were close games. Okay. One little tidbit I picked up, Mike, that you might be interested in is that Norvell, he was at my alma mater prior to FSU. Norvell is winless against the spread in bowl games.
Wow.
So he's going to have to crack a nut to get through this one, right? Sooners defense was ranked 120 in the nation, so they're even got worse as with the coaching change, bringing in their defensive coach. So we know that'll change next year, but hopefully for them. FSU should be able to score points. There's no question about it. Obviously playing the 120th ranked defense. Oklahoma's offense has been pretty good. Gabriel will be playing in this game, so that's a good sign for them. FSU defense, they've been okay in league play, but to let my Gators almost beat them and score 30 points kind of makes you wonder about really how good is that Florida State defense. But I'm going to take, as much as I hate it, I'm going to take the Criminals at -7 here.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm taking Florida State -7 also. I think this is the time that Norvell breaks through and gets that cover on his record.
I think he does.
Give me Florida State -7. I just think that the defense for Oklahoma, I mean, it's really the difference. I think the offense will be able to put up numbers against Florida State's defense, but Florida State's offense is, I think, going to go crazy on Oklahoma's defense. Johnny Wilson, Jordan Travis, they're going to put up numbers. So, yeah, give me Florida State -7.
This one might be put a little pizza money on the over in this game. If you think Oklahoma can score some points, we know Florida State is.
It just depends. I mean, you think that Oklahoma would, but some games they completely drawn a blank, and some games they show out. And the same thing with Florida State's defense. So I think it's spotty, either the over or the under. But I think Florida State -7 is a pretty good pick.
I think it's a safe play, man.
Yeah.
I think they beat them by worse than 7. I think it's going to be 14 or something like that. As much as I hate saying it, it is what it is.
I'm with you. All right. Last game. Your game. I'll let you finish off with it.
We are playing in a bowl game. Just so you know, we're playing in a bowl game. The better team's playing in a bowl game. Just want to make that clear.
That's true. That's true. Florida finished 6-6 in a Gator Dave dubbed practice year. That's impressive. That's not too shabby. That's 500.
You and Ian remember the practice year. I appreciate you guys keeping a good memory on that one. So
Yep.
What I
Because
can't
I'm
figure is
looking forward to
how.
next year for what next year is called. That's what I'm looking
Oh
forward to.
no, gloves are off, brother. It is what it is next year.
Oh,
Practice
okay.
year's over. You only get one of those.
Okay. Got you.
You know,
Got you.
Norvell had three. Um,
Yep.
so in this game, what's odd is how do you pair the like number 49th team against the like number 13th team in a bowl game? Explain that to me. What, is it just our name and like we're supposed to be good? Well,
Yep.
we're not.
Yep. It's to sell tickets, Dave. They know that the jort
We
wearers
travel.
will still come in full force.
We'll travel. We'll travel in our jorts out to Las Vegas.
That's
No
right.
question about
I
it.
mean, Las Vegas jorts. Come on. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
match made in heaven.
It is. It is. Walking down the strip in our jorts, you can't beat it. So Gators come in at 6-6. The Beavs at 9-3. Florida, surprisingly, Mike, ended up 7-5 against the spread. Can you believe that?
I cannot.
I can't either. When I read that, I had to freaking triple check. Now, OSU 10-2 against the spread. Florida will be playing its third string quarterback, and Mr. Jack Miller, who was a transfer from Ohio State last year, broke his hand at the beginning of the year. He was supposed to be our backup, so that didn't happen because he was hurt for most of the year. So hopefully the hand's well and he can throw the ball. Mike and I talked a little bit about this one earlier before the broadcast, and my theory on this game is that if Miller can get some short passes across the middle, some dump offs, and have some semblance of accuracy, he doesn't have to throw it long down the field. Just complete some passes, move the offense, that our running game will do well against Oregon State. I know everybody, all the stuff I hear all day long on the radio is, how great Oregon State is, but it is the Pac-12, right? So Pac-10, right? I get the numbers mixed up, man. But so my theory is if he can make some passes, we can run the ball and have somewhat of a respectable game. We're not going to win the game. There's no question about that. We're missing, obviously, Anthony Richardson. We're missing Cyrus Torrance, who is, by the way, first-team All-American tackle going to the NFL. We will be missing Ventrell Miller, who is really the heart of our defense that sucks. So you're missing the best player off of your defense. It's going to be quite porous, I believe, our defense, Mike. But I think our rushing attack can do well if Miller makes a few passes. In this game, Oregon State's going to score some points, some serious points, because our defense sucks. We've got a long way to go next year on that on our defense. So that's a given. And like I said, I think if Miller can open it up, we can score some points. Now, Oregon likes to run the ball a lot, so that could slow the game up a little bit. But I think that 52.5 on the points is a little low. Thus, I'm taking the easy way out and saying, give me the over 52.5.
Right on. Yeah, I just think the defense is going to be too much for y'all on Oregon State's side. I think they're going to come prepared. You guys are their Super Bowl. I know. I mean, it's the last game of the year anyway, but it's an SEC team. It's a chance to prove themselves. Just like you were saying, the Pac-12 is looked at as not as great as some of these other Power 5 conferences. So this is a chance for Oregon State to sort of nut up or shut up. I think they're going to perform. I think they're going to look at it as an opportunity. But the fact that Jack Miller is coming in for his first game of the year, he's got an opportunity now. He's taking reps with the ones. He's getting practice time with the ones. It's basically his team to lose at this moment. If he performs in this bowl game, he's going into the spring as the favorite for that starting position next year when, it's really up in the air at this point. So it's a big game for him and a big game for Napier too as far as recruiting. But I just think that defense is going to be too much. I think the guys that you guys are missing is going to be the key, like you mentioned. And I think Oregon State's going to be able to cover that 10. I think the over is probably a decent play, but I think Oregon State will probably still be able to cover that number.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm with you. I mean, I think we're pretty close on this. I mean, there's no way that Oregon State doesn't score 30 points minimum, in this game.
Yeah.
That leaves Florida, if they get 3 touchdowns off a little dink and dunks and our run game, I think that's safe. So I think we're both in a pretty good position here because I'll be honest with you, I think they lose by 14 or 21.
Right.
To be honest with you, I hate it, but it is what it is. It's reality.
Yeah, I'm not
reasons you said.
I'm not super high on it, but I mean, I could totally see it, going either way. So.
Hey, you never know about the silly Gators, man. Up and down all year long. We can't.
And Napier is a covering machine when he's not supposed to. So.
Yeah.
You never know.
So, and amazing. Like I said, 7-5 blew me away when I looked at that.
Yep.
When we were getting ready for the show. So.
All right.
But it is what it is.
So throwing up the recap, we're both on UTSA money line here. You are on the under in the Louisville Cincy game. I am on Louisville money line. We're both on Fresno State money line. You were on the over in the SMU BYU game. I got BYU +4. We're both on Eastern Michigan +3. Both on Toledo -4.5, and both on Missouri +1. You were on the over in your alma mater's game against Utah State. I am on Memphis -7 to get it done. You are on the over in Pitt UCLA. I am on UCLA to cover the number. We're both on Wisconsin money line. We're both on the Noles -7 against Oklahoma. And I am on Oregon State -10, whereas you are on the over for your Gators and the Beavers.
That's it.
And that's the recap, sir. I would be remiss if I didn't mention, Dave. Yes, that Miami. Unfortunately, we're not in a bowl game this year. However, we are winning. We are winning. Here, is this sound better for you? We are winning right now. I don't know if you looked at the rankings today or if you kept up to date with what's going on. So there's number 3 is where Miami currently sits in the recruiting rankings. We are a week away from the early signing day period, and then we have 2 short months ahead. What do you got up here? What is this? What do you have on the screen?
You see it? Look at this. There you go. I'm backing you up, buddy. Backing you up just so everybody can see.
Oh, you're bringing in numbers. Okay, well, today we secured Samson Okunlola, the number 1 OT in the class.
Miami is at number 3 game. And look at the lowly Gators way down.
Way down.
Number 10.
Way down. You know who's even further, though?
At number 10.
Even further down is the Florida State Seminoles. It's a great day. It's a great day. We're not mad at it. There's still room for improvement. He's not done. The loafers.
Florida State's at 15.
The loafers are gonna keep loafing, and he's gonna close out some more recruits before next week, let alone February. It's gonna be a hell of a class. I'm already extremely impressed with the guys that he has committed. I mean, now granted, we've already discussed it. It's not done until they sign that paper. Right now it's just verbals, but I mean, if these guys that are currently committed, sign, we're looking at 6-7 starters on both sides of the football probably next year, which is not a great thing considering the depth and talent that we currently have on the roster, but it shows that there's going to be improvement.
Hey, exactly. Look at what Texas A&M did last year, Mike. I mean, they had the top recruiting class, and what was their record?
Well, that's Jimbo Fisher, buddy.
What was their record?
That's Jimbo Fisher.
Okay.
That really doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean, if you want to do that, I mean, you guys, what have you guys done with your recruiting classes? They've been, top 10 for quite some time now, I think.
Oh, yeah, a long time.
Yeah, and nothing's really come from those. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's development. But the benefit is we have some of the best assistant coaches in the country. We got Jason Taylor on staff. We got Ed Reed on staff. Charlie Strong coaching linebackers. I mean, come on. So who doesn't want to go to Miami and get paid, the big bucks and win some rings? So that's what's going to happen here in a couple years. And it's a beautiful thing to see. Number 3 recruiting class, Dave. It's awesome. Number 10, I think, is what you said, double digits. I mean, that's okay. That's not terrible. You might be able to do something with that. But number 3 is a different kind of talent. That's 3 5-stars. That number 3 is for 3 5-stars that are on this roster, Dave.
You know what the first game
That's the most we've had in 8 years in general. We've had 3 5-stars in 8 years, and we got 3 this class. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful offseason. The next 3 months are just going to be amazing. Next fall is going to be probably still shaky, but next year when we play those Gators on the schedule, buddy, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Can't wait.
So folks out there in TV land, as we used to call it, I just wanted
back in the old days.
The Gators have gotten on the hook in terms of quarterback. And most of us know from our knowledge that the quarterback is the most important position on the field. The Gators have now secured, not totally secured yet because they got to sign, a 5-star quarterback in this class and a 5-star quarterback in the next class. We'll leave it at that.
So how many of those guys, how many of them can play on the field at one time?
If you have one good 5-star, you have insurance with a 5-star.
Oh.
I'd say you're in a good boat, bro.
So legitimately, do you believe that if you sign both of those 5-stars and one of them loses that starting position, you think that 5-star is going to be comfortable being the backup? In this day and age?
Let us use my hated Georgia Bulldogs as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time we get down there, we're going to be kicking butt so good that they will want to stay around for their time on the field. So the Bulldogs are a prime example of stocking 5-stars when you've got a midget walk-on throwing the ball down the field.
So hold on, you want to talk Georgia Bulldogs as an example of this? Didn't they sign? Hold on. Didn't they sign a 5-star when Jake Fromm was the quarterback? And didn't he leave to go to somewhere else?
The only one that left. All the other ones.
Because he couldn't play. Because there was. Oh. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying the most important position on the field is the quarterback, and we're in good shape for that. We will build. Promise you we will. And I am so looking forward to the first game of the season in 2024.
I mean, 2020. Well, we got 2025 too. It's gonna be that's gonna be a great 2 years. It's gonna be a good 2-year stretch of just Gator Dave tears all day long, crocodile tears, salty.
2024.
Salty.
Miami, Florida football game. Is it even on the schedule yet? Let's see. It would be, Mike. It will be played. Mark this down. We've got a whole nother year. August 31st, 2024.
Opening week.
In Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, better known as the Swamp.
Yeah, that's an uncomfortable place to sit. So it will be standing the whole game.
You might be having to sit next to me, buddy.
We'll be standing.
You'll be sitting over there in the section that's got like 2,000 people, and giving it this.
Pretty much.
We'll see, man. It's all fun. It's all awesome. You got to be excited for our two teams that sucked this year.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked. It's a major trust the process thing right now, and I'm all about it. I've trusted the process for 20 years, and it's gotten me nowhere. So what's another year or two? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let's get it done. Let's work it
At
through.
least we can enjoy where we are right now. You're pumped about your recruiting. I'm pumped about my recruiting and our QBs. And
I mean, Dave. My team's biggest weakness for the last 20 years has been offensive line. We have 2 of the top 3 tackles in the nation committed right now. That is insane.
That's awesome.
That is insane.
That's bulldog-esque.
That is massive improvement. And if you look at Mario Cristobal's experience and what he's done, like look at Oregon and the O-line this year of what they've done, number 1 in the league, number 1 in the country. So
Mike, you really got to think about his record, though, as a coach.
I don't give a shit. He's with a real team now, and he's with a team that each loss hurts him just as bad as it hurts the players. It's going to be different, man. I'm telling you. He had a rough year. That's cool. It's on go from here. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
I'm glad
it's going to be a beautiful thing.
There you go. I'm glad we're both excited. Hey, you know we play the. Oh no, you play that's your schedule.
What?
Blue Devils. You've got after you play us, you got the Florida A&M Rattlers and the Ball State Cardinals. Ooh, shoot! You have time to heal.
We got time to ride that momentum. The last thing you want to do is play, a solid team after a big win. So that'll be nice. You don't want any letdowns.
That's right. That's right. All right, it's all good.
All right, Dave. Part 1 is complete.
Part 1, yes. Please remember to like, subscribe, so we get this thing some momentum at the end of this year, moving into next year. We're gonna have a good end of the year, hopefully for our picks, and so we end on a good note, roll into next year, and have some more fun.
Indeed, right? Indubitably, Dave.
So since my team is playing, I have to end on Go Gators.
Go Canes, baby. Number 3 in the country recruiting class. We're 2023. It's happening. The future is now.
The future is 2030.
Good luck in your bowl game, Dave.
Thanks.